It's Friday, November 28th. In the headlines, National Housing Trust expands hurricane relief loan and grants for Melissa-affected families. In business news, Central Bank holds policy interest rates steady. Regionally, Ralph Gonzalez loses St. Vincent and the Grenadines 2025 election. And in sports, Konya Plummer to lead Reggae Girls into 2027 Women's World Cup qualifiers. This is the weekend news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The National Housing Trust is widening access to its $3.5 million hurricane relief loan for Hurricane Melissa victims, allowing immediate family members to apply on behalf of affected homeowners. The low-interest 20-year loan aims to help households struggling to afford repairs after income losses caused by the storm. The policy change was confirmed by Assistant General Manager for Corporate Communications and Public Affairs at NHT, Dwayne Burbick, at a briefing at the Office of the Prime Minister.
Given that incomes have also been affected in these areas, we have extended this facility to immediate family members, so children, siblings, parents wanting to help children. A wide cross-section of individuals can make an application for this loan facility on behalf of someone in a property that is affected. And that would not cause any variation in the terms that the loan allows. It's the same terms that would obtain as it relates to interest rate and time to repay.
Mr. Burbick says the loan can be used not only for repairs, but also to strengthen buildings against future hurricanes.
One of the other special things about this loan facility is that we're giving consideration to not just the immediate repair of the property, but how the homeowner may want to improve resilience. We hear the stories, the hurricanes will be more frequent and will be more intense. So if in preparation, let's say a homeowner wants to move from timber roofing and convert that to slab roofing, as part of the repair process, the NHT will allow the loan facility to go towards that as well.
He's also urging mortgagors to take advantage of the peril insurance coverage included in their monthly payments.
So if there are any individuals who service their mortgage with the NHT and are impacted, at this time they're able to put in a peril insurance claim. So we ask that you, of course, document the damage and document it properly. Take photographs before, after, if you have them, during, if you so happen to have the state of mind to have recorded some of the damage while it was taking place. And of course, to get as well an estimate of what it will take to repair the unit and bring it back to its rightful habitable state.
Alongside the loan, a $500,000 disaster relief grant is now accessible to immediate family members, including pensioners.
It doesn't have to be the owner of the house that can apply for this. Immediate family members, again, can apply. And on that note of flexibility, we are also not just looking at homeowners in terms of those who are active mortgagors or contributors to the NHT. We do understand that quite a bit of our pensioners have been affected at this time as well. And so our pensioners are able to apply directly for this grant of $500,000 if they can. If they can't, and there's someone in the family who is a contributor, even if they're not living in the household, they can put in an application on their behalf.
In the hardest hit parishes, the NHT has granted a full moratorium on mortgage principal, interest, life insurance, and peril insurance premiums until April 30, 2026. Homeowners outside those areas may also qualify for relief, assessed on a case-by-case basis. Applications for the relief loan, grants, and insurance claims can be made online at nht.gov.jm/recover. As Jamaica rebuilds after Hurricane Melissa, environmental planners say the storm is a wake-up call to change how and where we build. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, breaks down the key lessons from this historic Category 5 system and how Jamaicans can prepare for what experts warn is our new climate reality. Danita Rodney reports.
Hurricane Melissa's destruction is still being counted, but one message is clear. Jamaica must rethink its relationship with the environment. Speaking on Studio 58A, Gregory Bennett, acting deputy CEO at NEPA, said Melissa underscored what scientists have warned for years. Climate change is real, and stronger, more frequent storms are now expected.
It therefore means that the impacts of climate change will continue, as professed by the scholars and the many studies that have been done, that we are going to experience more severe, more frequent events. And so therefore, it means that we have to plan and prepare. Mm-hmm. So therefore, preparedness is very key. And of course, what it therefore means as well is that the severity of the events will also be intensified, and therefore our planning must consider that it is a new normal. Mm-hmm.
The NEPA official says the assessment of the impact of Hurricane Melissa will guide future development orders, determining where it is safe to rebuild and which areas may now require added protection or be designated no-build zones.
So the assessment would now inform how we move forward in terms of how we build and where we build. So especially those areas that are most vulnerable, So we're looking at our riverine areas, those areas especially that we want to consider as quote-unquote no-build mm-hmm. areas, and those areas where, are environmentally sensitive areas that perhaps need some sort of additional protection.
The agency is urging Jamaicans not to rush to rebuild without checking codes and guidelines.
So, in building back strong and better, we want to consider where is it that you're going to build. Because if it is that you're in a landslide area, prone to landslide, then you want to reconsider that as well. If you are living on a riverbank, for example, unstable situations, you are in a situation where you're close to the shoreline. I have seen that, another event like this, will completely destroy. You wouldn't want to build. So it's to consider where build. And in terms of how, there has to be a recognition in terms of the guidelines that have been provided by the authorities, such as the OTPM and the local planning authorities, mm-hmm. which is the municipal corporations, mm-hmm. in terms of the use of the building codes.
Final assessments will be released in the coming weeks, but for now, the message is clear. Jamaica must build back stronger, smarter, and with climate change firmly in the mind.
The government has stepped up its fight against dengue. Nearly 1,000 vector control workers are now on the ground in high-risk communities island-wide, fogging, treating breeding sites, and distributing supplies to cut down mosquito populations. Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave the update during a virtual briefing on Thursday afternoon. According to Dr. Tufton, the Ministry of Health and Wellness has deployed 950 vector control workers to support intensified mosquito reduction efforts, 344 temporary workers, and 606 permanent staff assigned to the high-risk communities.
The ministry also provided the most affected parishes with equipment and machinery to bolster the response. So these include some 13 thermal foggers, 8 ULV machines, 15 drums of insecticides, 70 boxes of larvicides, and also spray pumps. So just an example of the deployment, the equipment, and some additional support to the effort at vector control.
He shares that so far, 907 communities have received larvicidal treatment, and despite rain and power outages, fogging crews have still reached 365 communities, about 73% of the target.
As of November 2025, some 907 communities have been visited and received larvicidal treatment, which includes treatment of groundwater and container habitats. Of that 907, some 68% of these are from those identified as high-risk communities. Additionally, some 365 communities have been fogged, representing some 73% of the total number of communities targeted for the period. The fogging efforts have been affected by ongoing rainfall and the lack of electricity in some of the areas, but as electricity is restored, it is making it easier for us to access these areas.
Dr. Tufton is urging residents to cooperate with the teams and to look for their identification.
We have received some reports about vector workers being attacked by residents who are in one way or the other offended either by the fumigation or by their presence. We just want to use the opportunity to urge members that the vector workers are acting in your interests, in the community's interests, in your health and safety interests, and we encourage you to please have a conversation if you feel uncertain about something, and we can find a way to work together for the benefit of the best health of the community. They should have their identification, so that should not be an issue, and if you don't see it, you can ask for it. But please work with the vector workers. It's also illegal to do anything that would harm them.
The government has boosted mosquito control supplies, distributing more than 3,000 drum covers, 1,000 repellents, and 371 boxes of aqua tablets, with additional support coming from UNICEF and Food for the Poor. Meanwhile, 6,500 water quality checks have been carried out, with 55% meeting safe chlorination levels, and work continues with agencies to improve the results. In our Unfiltered feature this week, with Christmas season fast approaching and Black Friday deals rolling out, both online and in store, shoppers are on the move. But which do you prefer? Chanel Matthews went into the streets to find out.
I am Chanel Matthews, and this is Unfiltered. When thinking of something to buy, do you grab your phone or do you hit the store?
In-store shopping, yes. Why? It's because, well, there's scams, although they can, but yeah, those scams can see what you're buying in person, maybe be able to test it out before you actually buy it. And yeah, that's really my reason why I would prefer in-store shopping.
In-store, that you can see what you're picking up and look at it.
Physical, you give a touch of things there, man, you feel much better. And we can really actually pick up my stuff then. Online, I have to take what I get. So enough time I hear people complain, I mean, I go through that. So I'm physical for me.
I prefer in-store, and the reason is that I can look at the things that I'm getting. When you do online shopping, there's a possibility that you might not get your correct size or you might not get the correct goods that you order. So I prefer in-store.
In-store, because I don't really trust the online because people can go into your privacy. So the more safer in shopping store than online.
Yes, I prefer in-store because when you shop online, I'm kind of scared of the scamming, and with all that is happening now, I think it's better when you go in-store, you have the cash in, and then you know that you can just let go your cash. But when you shop online, sometimes I keep wondering if they close the card or what will happen next.
So I prefer online shopping because to me it's more convenient and it's more cost effective.
And for me, I like in-store because I like tangible things and I like to know what I'm getting.
I prefer store because I can't walk into the store and go buy something and come back out with my receipt and my things them. Yeah, that's what. I don't know about online, but I know about the store. I can buy something and come back out with my receipt. But people talk about online, say, but I don't know. I never try online, but I never try online.
In-store. I prefer in-store because I can go and look at the product I'm going to buy and I can see the price and I can get it right on time.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Bank of Jamaica Governor Richard Biles gave recovery levels for ATMs as at November 18. In Hanover, 31% of the ATM machines are working. Trelawney, 38%. And St. Elizabeth, 42% of the machines are working. The governor said in a video statement that the bank understands that more Jamaicans will be more reliant on cash in order to conduct their daily transactions in the aftermath of the hurricane. But the governor admitted that banks continue to face major challenges in the aftermath of the storm, with staff displaced, lack of power and connectivity. This, according to him, will affect the speed of resumption of normal banking services. He revealed that the central bank has waived RTGS fees for more than 240,000 transactions. The Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, has kept its benchmark interest rate unchanged, but announced special measures to stabilize the foreign exchange market as it moves to contain an expected hike in inflation following Hurricane Melissa. Meanwhile, alongside holding the policy rate steady, the central bank has begun special preemptive measures in the foreign exchange market, anticipating increased imports for rehabilitation and reconstruction. Since the passage of Hurricane Melissa, the BOJ has already sold $210 million into the market. Going forward, in the short term, the BOJ will also directly supply the foreign currency need of selected entities in the energy sector to take out of the market those large, lumpy purchases that could distort prices at any given time. We will also proactively ensure adequate foreign currency liquidity in the market, including the reintroduction of scheduled advanced notices of intervention sales. This announcement from BOJ Governor Richard Biles follows the bank saying its strong international reserves give it the capacity to support the market and that it stands ready to deploy other tools to maintain orderly conditions in the exchange rate. For the trading period ending November 27, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Wigton Energy Limited with 15,754,322 units, representing 47.5% of market sales volume. Trans-Jamaica Highway Limited with 8,627,791 units, representing 26.01% of market sales volume. JMMB Group Limited, 9.5% shares of 1,637,128 units, representing 4.94% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On November 27, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $38.86 million purchased and US $42.3 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.91 per dollar, selling the US at $159.42 and buying the US at $161.33. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders 27 cents per transaction, with selling at $114.51 and buying at $114.78. The British pound yielded Forex traders $3.12 in profits, with selling at $209.52 and buying at $212.64. For a credit report tip of the day, sometimes life hits so hard, it feels like you're crawling through the wreckage of everything you built, wondering how you're supposed to keep going. Bills pile up, your phone won't stop ringing, and the pressure feels like it's closing in on your throat. Walking into a bank after that kind of blow isn't courage, it's survival. And that's where your credit report becomes your battle record. Every late payment, every closed account, every scar on that page proves you've been in a fight, not running from it. You use it because you don't have the luxury of pretending everything is fine. You need 6 months to breathe, and you're stepping into that conversation with grit, honesty, and the kind of strength that only comes from being pushed to the edge and still choosing to stand. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, in a landmark political transformation, St. Vincent and the Grenadines has a new government. After 25 years in opposition, the new Democratic Party has swept to victory, unseating the long-serving Unity Labour Party and ending Dr. Ralph Gonsalves' bid for a 6th consecutive term. Preliminary results show the NDP, led by 66-year-old Dr. Goodwin Friday, winning at least 11 of the 15 seats. Friday will become the country's 7th Prime Minister. Gonsalves held on to his seat, but his son, Finance Minister Camilo Gonsalves, lost to NDP candidate Leverine Gibson Velox. In a statement, he accepted the result, saying, quote, "The voice of the people is the voice of God," end quote. NDP supporters celebrated across the capital, and the party says Friday has already instructed that today be declared a public holiday. Regional leaders, including Jamaica's Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, have congratulated Dr. Friday, calling it a significant moment for Vincentian democracy. As Jamaicans continue to work to rebuild their lives in the aftermath of the devastating passage of Hurricane Melissa, support from across the region and wider international community has been steadily increasing. In Grenada, the spirit of Caribbean solidarity was on full display Wednesday evening as the Rotary clubs in Grenada hosted Project Ascension, Rotary Rise Jamaica Telethon.
The televised fundraising event, aired live on GBN television, generated approximately $92,000 in contribution before the night ended. The initiative, spearheaded through a joint partnership between the Rotary Club of Grenada and the Rotary Club of Grenada East, was aimed at supporting recovery and rebuilding efforts in Jamaica following the destruction caused by the October storm. The two Rotary clubs made a combined contribution of $15,000 to the totals raised. President of the Rotary Club of Grenada, Julia Lawrence, said the decision to organize the telethon was inspired by the organization's long-standing commitment to humanitarian service, especially in times of crisis.
Of Jamaica, the Caribbean stands with you. You're not alone. and we will do our best to ensure that you can rise again. Do not give up. Do not lose hope. We're here with you. We have been on the receiving end. We experienced, certainly I was a Rotarian. I was not a Rotarian when Ivan passed, but I joined shortly after that. But I'm aware of the benefits that Grenadians receive and the roles that Rotarians across the region played in helping us after Ivan, Emily, and certainly in most recent memory, Barry last year. And so, as one Rotarian put it, we cannot pay back, we're paying forward. Yes.
Noted that previous telethons hosted by the local Rotary movement to assist other islands served as a motivation to step forward once again. President of Rotary Club Grenada East, Jennifer Robertson, added that while a specific recovery project has not yet been identified, the funds will be directed through Rotary's established disaster relief channels in Jamaica.
It's based on needs assessment, where the needs are greatest, where the impact is most needed, and where Rotary can ensure that the funds have contributed to rebuilding and to improving the quality of life.
Corporate support also featured prominently during the night. The Grenada Cooperative Bank, one of the event's major sponsors, donated $25,000, a contribution presented by Managing Director Larry Lawrence. Republic Bank Grenada Limited also made a donation towards the cause, presented by the bank's Manager of Operations, Mavis McBurney.
The Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited. It is indeed our pleasure to play our part as a responsible corporate citizen in making this donation to the Rotary Club of Grenada in support of the initiative for the Jamaica Relief Fund.
Our contribution will be delivered electronically because it is priceless. We are making a financial contribution of $20,000.
Rotarian Michael Terrelonge emphasized that Jamaica remains in the early stages of recovery and continued support will be vital over the coming months.
Okay, the current conditions are that, a month after the hurricane struck, we're still in the existential recovery phase, just trying to make sure our communities have the basic necessities of life. Still in the very basic stage of mopping up. We're well organized. We have many good friends like you all, right? But we're still in the very early stages of recovery.
7 parishes were severely impacted by Hurricane Melissa. 45 people died and 9 remain unaccounted for. Jamaica has since experienced an outbreak of leptospirosis with 11 deaths so far. A number of individuals remains in shelters as their housing stock were severely impacted. With more than 5.1 million members worldwide, Rotary International continues to be a key humanitarian force in global disaster response. Christina John, GBN News.
In sports, we begin with football. Jamaica's Reggae Girls are set to kick off their 2027 Women's World Cup qualifying campaign, led by defender Konya Plummer. The team opens Group B CONCACAF qualifiers on Saturday against Dominica in St. Lucia, with Guyana, Nicaragua, and Antigua and Barbuda also in the group. Plummer, who captained Jamaica to their first FIFA Women's World Cup in 2019, overcame personal challenges, including pregnancy, to return to top-level football. She credits Jamaica's second consecutive World Cup qualification in 2023 for reigniting her passion and has since founded the Konya Plummer Community Grant to support aspiring athletes. Jamaica's Reggae Girls now look to build on their legacy as they chase World Cup qualification in Brazil. And that's it for the weekend news on PBCJ. Pleasant viewing.